The film begins with a young man named Sean, who is on vacation in his hometown, packing his things for a camping trip with his friends. Once Sean finishes packing, he bids farewell to his family who are watching TV. Suddenly, the TV show they are watching changes to a shocking scene. His family panics, and his younger sibling starts crying after seeing the scene. It turns out this was the work of his friend Donnie, who was waiting outside and hacking Sean's TV. Sean rushes outside and tells Donnie to stop hacking his TV. After that, they head out to pick up their friend Jeremy. When they arrive at Jeremy's house, they load their stuff into the car. Donnie accidentally finds a pink bra. Unbeknownst to Sean and Donnie, Jeremy has invited two girls named Becky and Sarah. Becky is Jeremy's sister who just broke up with her boyfriend and wants to join the camping trip to move on. Sean has had a crush on Becky for a long time but hasn't dared to confess his feelings. Sarah, on the other hand, is Donnie's ex-crush, and they seem not to be very close anymore. Long story short, they start their journey to the camping site. Along the way, they stop at a store to buy some supplies and liquor. Inside the store, Jeremy shows a fake military ID to the store owner to buy liquor and get a discount. Jeremy successfully buys the liquor and gets the discount, and they continue their journey. When they reach their destination, they unload their stuff and start walking into the forest. After hours of walking, they finally arrive at the spot they wanted and decide to set up their tent. While setting up the tent, Sean is advised by Donnie and Jeremy to confess his feelings to Becky, but Sean is still too scared to do so. At the same time, inside the tent, Sarah advises Becky to move on from her ex and start getting close to Sean again, like before. After setting up the tent, they start partying with the liquor they bought earlier. Like any group of young people, they drink when they gather. At night, Becky tries to get close to Sean and has a casual chat with him. Then, Becky invites Sean to smoke weed in the tent, and without hesitation, Sean accepts Becky's invitation. However, just as he was about to enter the tent, Sean was pulled by Donnie and asked to look for Jeremy. At that moment, Jeremy was peeing while playing with a very sharp knife. When Donnie and Sean saw Jeremy peeing, they immediately recorded Jeremy and startled him from behind. Jeremy was so shocked that he accidentally cut his own penis with the knife he was holding. Jeremy screamed in pain, which made Becky and Sarah come over. They were shocked to see Jeremy's detached penis. The four of them quickly brought Jeremy near the tent and agreed to save him, then divided the tasks. Sean was tasked with taking all the phones to a higher place to get a signal and call 911, while Donnie and Sarah were tasked with finding Jeremy's severed penis. Meanwhile, Becky was tasked with keeping Jeremy company so he wouldn't feel lonely in his condition. When Sean reached the cliff, he managed to call 911 using Becky's phone. Then Sean accidentally saw a message from Becky's ex, Chad, and he angrily replied to Chad to prevent Becky from getting back with Chad. Suddenly, Becky approached Sean, startling him and causing him to accidentally drop all the phones he was holding into the ravine. Fortunately, Sean had already contacted 911, and they would arrive in 30 minutes. Meanwhile, Donnie and Sarah were trying to find Jeremy's penis. Sarah accidentally found it, initially thinking it was dog poop. When Sarah approached Jeremy's penis, she felt nauseous and vomited on it. Sarah and Donnie quickly retrieved Jeremy's penis using a tree branch and cleaned it with water, then tried to warm it by the campfire. However, Jeremy, seeing this, immediately scolded Sarah and told her to put his penis in the cooler to keep it fresh. A while later, a rescue helicopter arrived. Unfortunately, the helicopter moved away from them because it didn't know their exact location. Then, Donnie threw a gas canister into the campfire, creating a big explosion, which caused Jeremy's shoes to catch fire, quickly extinguished by Becky. The explosion helped the rescue team and the helicopter locate them. The rescue team immediately took Jeremy and the cooler containing his penis to the nearest hospital. The next morning, Donnie opened the cooler again and was shocked to see that it contained Jeremy's penis. Donnie panicked and accidentally dropped the cooler, scattering the ice cubes inside on the ground, causing them to melt. It turned out the cooler taken by the rescue team only contained canned drinks, because Sean had mistakenly given them the cooler with the canned drinks. Sean and his friends then decided to go to the hospital to catch up with Jeremy as quickly as possible. In the middle of their journey, They saw a house and planned to stop there to find ice so that Jeremy's severed penis wouldn't rot in the cooler. When they arrived, they found the house had been abandoned for a long time, and the fridge contained only rotten food. They checked the entire house, hoping to find a phone or radio they could use. Then, when Becky opened a cupboard, she was shocked to see a venomous snake, causing her to drop the cooler she was carrying. Jeremy's penis fell out and was bitten by the snake. The four of them argued about who would suck the snake venom out of Jeremy's penis. Eventually, Sean gave in and agreed to suck the venom out of Jeremy's penis, but he wanted to do it without anyone watching and told his friends to wait outside. He did this because he felt guilty for dropping all the phones and giving the wrong cooler to the rescue team. While waiting outside, Becky, Sarah, and Donnie saw a drone flying past them. They decided to chase the drone because there must be someone nearby controlling it with a phone. When they called Sean, they found him engrossed in sucking the venom out of Jeremy's penis, making his friends scream hysterically. Long story short, they all went to chase the drone. Sarah, the fastest among them, managed to catch the drone but fell into a lake and had to swim. Seeing Sarah fall into the lake, Donnie also jumped in. Sean, afraid of heights, accidentally slipped and fell into the lake back first, which was very painful. This made Sean's back turn red, and Donnie, being mischievous, touched Sean's back, causing him great pain. At the same time, they saw the rescue helicopter arriving at their previous campsite. Unfortunately, they had already moved on and had to walk out of the forest quickly. Continuing their journey, they met a boy who turned out to be the drone's owner. Sarah and Becky asked the boy to lend them his father's boat to cross the lake and get out of the forest quickly. The boy agreed to lend them the boat if Sarah and Becky showed him their breasts. Hearing the boy's lewd demand, Sarah slapped him, making him back off. Then Becky approached the boy again, showing him Jeremy's severed penis, and threatened him. Becky threatened that if the boy didn't lend them the boat keys, she and her friends would cut off his penis too. Becky successfully got the boat keys, and the boy looked traumatized after seeing Jeremy's severed penis. As they were about to board the boat, the boy's father, who had just returned from fishing, chased after Sean and his friends because he thought they had molested his son, leaving him speechless and traumatized. Sean, who was the last to board the boat, had to endure the pain because his back was whipped by the fishing rod of the boy's father. Fortunately, Becky managed to start the boat and escape from the place. The scene shifted to the hospital with Jeremy arguing with a nurse. The nurse offered Jeremy to have surgery to create a new penis, using some flesh from his buttocks. But Jeremy refused and chose to wait for his friends, believing they would bring his severed penis. Long story short, Sean and his friends had reached the parking lot and immediately headed to the hospital by car. On the way, they stopped at the previous store to find ice and clean Jeremy's penis. The store owner agreed to help clean Jeremy's penis because he thought Jeremy and his friends were military members who had served the country. Once Jeremy's penis was cleaned and looked like new, the store owner gave a business card to Donnie. When Donnie was about to put the card in his wallet, the store owner snatched Donnie's wallet and discovered their real identities as ordinary college students. This made the store owner very angry, and he started chasing Donnie and Sean. Luckily, they managed to escape, although Donnie was hit by an arrow shot by the store owner. Long story short, they finally reached the nearest hospital. However, when they asked the hospital staff about Jeremy's room, the staff said there was no patient named Jeremy. They realized they were at the wrong hospital and quickly went to another one. Upon arriving at the right hospital, Becky shouted that she had found Jeremy's severed penis. The hospital staff immediately took Jeremy's penis, and the doctor praised Sean and his friends, promising to start the surgery right away. The surgery went smoothly, and the doctor allowed Sean and his friends to see Jeremy. When they entered the patient's room, they were shocked to find that Jeremy wasn't there. Instead, there was an unknown man. They rushed out and asked a nurse where Jeremy was. The nurse explained that there was no patient named Jeremy in the hospital, and the severed penis they brought had been given to the man in the room, named Mason. Hearing this, Donnie ran back to the room to retrieve Jeremy's penis, but he was stopped by the hospital staff and security, and they were thrown out. They began arguing and blaming each other. Then Donnie told Becky that Sean had replied to Chad's message using Becky's phone, with rude words to prevent Becky from getting back with her ex. Hearing this, Becky was very disappointed in Sean and left with Sarah. A few moments later, Donnie and Sean began to realize their mistakes and apologize to each other. Then they accidentally overheard a conversation between two staff members saying that they had found Mason's severed penis. Donnie and Sean immediately returned to Mason's room and explained that the penis attached to him was not his, but Jeremy's. Mason was shocked when he saw how small his penis was and recounted the incident of how his penis got cut off. It turned out his girlfriend had cut it off with scissors after finding out that Mason had cheated on her with her sister. Despite this, Mason said he still loved his girlfriend. Mason also agreed to give the newly found penis to Jeremy. Suddenly, Mason's girlfriend Cheryl came into the room, apologizing for cutting off Mason's penis, and started making out with him. Seeing Mason and his girlfriend making out, Donnie, Sean, and the doctor left the room. Just as they were leaving, Mason screamed loudly as Cheryl cut off his penis for the second time and threw it into the toilet. Luckily, after a fierce struggle, Sean managed to chase Cheryl away, and Donnie retrieved Jeremy's penis with his mouth and placed it in a drink container filled with ice water. Sean and Donnie then went to Becky and Sarah to inform them that they had successfully retrieved Jeremy's penis. At the same time, Becky's ex-boyfriend Chad arrived in his car to pick her up. Donnie told Sean to apologize to Becky and confess his feelings right then. Sean nervously apologized to Becky and confessed that he had always liked her. Because he was so nervous, Sean ended up drinking the water from the container holding Jeremy's penis. Finally, Becky forgave Sean, and they went to save Jeremy, with Becky breaking up with Chad. In the car, they realized that Jeremy was actually at the first hospital they visited. However, since Jeremy had a fake ID, his real name wasn't registered as a patient there. Sean called the hospital and asked them to connect the call to Jeremy under the name on his fake military ID. Unfortunately, Jeremy had just been sedated by the doctor preparing him for surgery. When Sean's call connected with Jeremy, Sean told him they were near the hospital. But as Jeremy responded that he was about to go into surgery, he passed out from the sedative. The doctor then took Jeremy to the operating room. When Sean and his friends arrived at the hospital, they caused a commotion to quickly get Jeremy's penis to the operating room. Unfortunately, they faced many obstacles, including hospital staff blocking them and Jeremy's penis falling and getting thrown around. Eventually, Sean managed to get Jeremy's penis to the operating room just as the doctors were about to start the surgery. While the surgery was underway, Donnie and Sarah, who had once been crushes, officially became a couple, as did Sean and Becky. However, when Sean tried to kiss Becky, she stopped him, still grossed out by the thought of Sean's mouth having been on Jeremy's penis. A few days later, as Sean prepared to return to Germany for college, Donnie played another prank by hacking Sean's TV and playing a wonderful video that made Sean's younger sibling cry. Becky and Sarah then arrived to take Sean to the airport. Jeremy, in a wheelchair and accompanied by his new girlfriend, car out of the car. As Becky helped Sean pack his things into the car, they finally kissed, and the film ends. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, because by subscribing you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.